3 months ago, Brian never imagined AI would help him take down the company that fired him for having the flu. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how he turned the tables. 0-30, the firing. Outrage and betrayal. Brian was just like a lot of us in 2026, hustling at a mid-size marketing agency in Chicago, working remote 3 days a week, grinding out 50-hour weeks. He wasn't a slack. But in early January, during the worst flu spike the Midwest had seen since COVID-26, Brian went down hard. On Monday, January 12th, he emailed his boss, Linda. Too sick to work, can barely sit up. Brian figured he'd be back by Wednesday, maybe Thursday. But on Tuesday, HR called, not to check on him, but to fire him over Zoom.
Linda's words were cold. "Brian, you've used all your sick days and it's affecting the team. We have to let you go. No warning, no performance review. Fired for being sick." Brian was shocked, furious, but most of all gutted. 4 years at this job, loyalty, late nights, and dumped in one 8-minute call. But what Linda didn't know was that Brian wasn't the type to just crawl away quietly too. 0-0, hitting rock bottom, and getting an idea, no severance. Rent due. Chicago winter biting harder than ever. Brian spent a week on his couch, doom scrolling LinkedIn, watching his old team post about crushing client goals. Here's where it gets interesting. Brian started noticing something. Half his former clients were complaining about outdated creative and slow campaign turnaround. ChatGPT Ultra had just launched publicly in February, and everyone was buzzing about AI tools. But Linda's agency wasn't using any. Brian realized the agency was lagging, and he saw an open. One night, still bitter, Brian mocked up an AI-powered campaign draft for a former client, just to see if he could. Using AI ad copy tools and new design models, he banged out a week's work in 2 hours. The automated campaign outperformed anything his old team ever ran. Suddenly Brian saw it. Not a dead end, but a path. Could he build an agency, AI-powered, from his living room? But he had no money, no clients, and no clue how hard Linda would fight back for. 0-0, building something better with AI. That February, Brian took a chance. He launched ByteSpark.ai, an agency offering AI-generated ad campaigns, slogans, and custom creatives. His first client, an old friend from college, Emily, who just quit Linda's agency in solidarity. Emily brought a social media brand, and ByteSpark made their first $500 in 1 week. Word spread fast. AI marketing became the new buzzword after the Super Bowl LIX ad scandal, when a legacy brand got roasted for using stale creative. Did you see that on X? Suddenly, everyone wanted smart campaigns, faster, cheaper, 24/7 out. In 6 weeks, ByteSpark snagged 4 more clients, all ex-customers of Linda's agents. Revenue hit $12,000 by March. But that's when things took an unpredictable turn. 6-0-0, the turning point. Tables turned by April. Linda's agency was in trouble. Clients dropping, reviews tanking, staff leaving. Linda emailed Brian. "Let's talk." She offered him a contract gig. Brian said nothing. Instead, ByteSpark rolled out its secret weapon, automated competitor analysis for clients. They onboarded bigger accounts. In late April, Linda's last 2 major clients jumped ship, straight to ByteSpark.ai. The agency's losses hit 6 figures. Here's the real surprise coming. Linda tried to apply for a job at ByteSpark using a fake name. The AI caught her resume instantly. 7-0-0. When karma strikes, Linda's agency folded within the month. ByteSpark went viral on LinkedIn. Fired for sick days, now running the show. Brian's story made the front page of TechCrunch and Medium, inspiring hundreds to leave toxic workplaces behind. Brian was no longer sick, broke, or powerless. He was running a 7-figure business from a coffee shop, hiring back others who'd been thrown away like he was. 8-0-0.
What we learned plus next story teaser. So what's the takeaway? Justice doesn't always come how you expect. Sometimes it comes in the form of a pink slip and a healthy dose of revenge, delivered by the very tech that old school bosses refuse to understand. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. We post stories like this every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. The next story, a nightmare neighbor who tried to steal a dream home and ended up getting more than they bargained for. Subscribe and hit the bell. Every day, brand new true stories of betrayal, revenge, and ultimate justice. The next story is even crazy. If you liked this, watch our story about the landlord who scammed tenants until karma hit back. Linked right here. The end.